Welcome to FUNNYMATH page. In this video, we'll talk about factorization by common factors approach. That is what we're going to do for today. So the question is, why factorization? Why do we factorize, and is that necessary? Is that important to do that? What I want you to know is that mathematicians are interested in manipulating expressions, numerical expressions and algebraic expressions, without aiming at, altering the real value of the expression. So let's see this one for instance. Assume you have, 4 added to 8, which obviously is going to be 12, right? You know, we can simplify this expression in a different way or format, through factorization. 4 plus, 8, 4 and 8, we can factorize, and we can get a common factor out of these two numbers, 4 and 8, and that's going to be 4, right? So just put 4 outside, and then 4 goes into 4, one time, plus 4 goes into 8, that's going to be 2. This is what we have using BODMAS, or you can use any acronym, PEDMAS, and what have you. We always try to simplify the guys or the terms and brackets, and then we move on with the next operations or signs. So in this case, after bringing this 4 out, that means I factorize 4 out. We have 4 into bracket 1 plus 2, and that's going to be 1 plus 2, that's going to be 3, and then times 4, times 4. 4 times 3 is going to be 12. So you see we are getting the same answer, right? So that means that after factorizing this expression, we didn't alter the real value of the expression. And that is how mathematicians do their things. We are just trying to manipulate the expression and nothing has changed. So we make sure that after, factorizing or manipulating your expression, you still have to get the same real value of the expression. It shouldn't alter the real value of the expression. And that's what we're going to do. So let's start, let's begin with algebraic expressions. How do we factorize? Using a common factors approach. So let's take our first expression, and that we have 2x. Let's say we have 2x minus 12. How do we factorize this? Always make sure we look for the common factor. 2x and that of 12. Can we get a common factor? 2 and 12. Yeah, the common factor is going to be 2, right? So we just bring these two out. Right? We just bring a bracket here. So 2 goes into the whole of these two s is going to be x, right? Yeah. So we bring this sign, that is a minus sign. 2 goes into 12 6 times, and then we are done. Factorization is the opposite of expansion. When you have expression like, 2 into bracket x plus 4, we can expand to remove the bracket, and that's going to be 2 times s, that will give us 2x. 2 times 4, that's going to be 8. That's why you're getting. We can factorize 2s plus 4 to get this same expression. If you want to factorize 2s plus 8, we just take out the common factor, that is 2. 2 goes into this, x, and then plus 4. So you see, we end up getting the same expression. And nothing has changed. I've seen the whole idea about factorization. So factorization is the opposite of expansion. So we expand, the opposite is going to be to factorize. So let me clear this stuff from here, and then we continue with the expressions. Okay. All right. So I think we can clear this guy from here. So that's our first expression. Let's move on to the second one. You can take this 6x plus 18. You can feel free to pause the video, solve it, compare the answer to what we are going to get here. So you have 6x and that of 18. 6x and 18, what will be the common factor? And let me talk about this. Even though we are looking for the common factor, 2 is a common factor, right? 2 can go into 6, can also go into 18. But we're actually looking for the highest common factor. The highest common factor. So it's not that we are, just looking for a common factor. If you use any common factor without using the highest common factor, you end up factorizing again. And that would be, a whole lot of stuff. Yes, it's going to be complicated. So always try to use the highest common factor. So 6 and 18, obviously the highest common factor is going to be 6. So after getting your highest common factor, we just enclose in bracket. We have 6 here. 6 goes into 6x. That's going to be x. And then 6 goes into 18. Let me 6 times 3 is going to be 18. So here is going to be 3. And you see we are done. So this is not something difficult that should baffle your mind. So if you don't know that you are correct, just try and expand. To see whether we're going to get the same expression. So 6 times x, that's going to be 6x. And then 6 times 3 is going to be 18. So you see we are getting the same expression. So that means you are correct in this case. So if you want to verify your answer, you can just, expand to see whether you get the same expression. Okay, so that'll be for that one. Let's take more examples. We have 8x squared minus 10x. So let's take this one. 8x squared minus 10x. There's a whole lot of stuff, right? We have 8, 10. What will be the highest common factor for 8 and 10? Obviously, it's going to be, 2, right? 2 here. But let's see something. In this case, we have an x expression here, another x expression here. So what will be the highest common factor of x squared and that of, an x? What will be the highest common factor? What will be the highest common factor? That's going to be x, right? Yeah. So we easily take the one with the least exponent. This one has an exponent of 1. This has an exponent of 2. We just take the one with the least exponent. That's the easiest way. So that means x squared and that of x. We're going to take x here, right? So the highest common factor for 8x squared and 10x is going to be 2x. We just bring our bracket like we did in the previous ones. So now, this is how we're going to do this one. 2x goes into 8x squared how many times? Let's relax and do it, separately. Let's take these two. 2 goes into 8 4 times. We just write 4 here. So we come to the letters. S goes into x squared how many times? And that's going to be x. S going into x squared is the same as x squared divided by x. And we take one of the bases according to the laws of indices, we subtract the exponent. So we're going to get 2 minus 1. This one has an exponent of 1, right? So 2 minus 1, and that will give me x, right? So that means 2x, x goes into x squared, x times. We bring this minus here. 2 goes into 10, 5, into x goes into x1. So you don't have to write 1 again. So you just have this expression. So our final expression or answer is 2x into bracket this. Let's take more examples here. We have 3x, 3, let's make it 32 rather. Okay, so let's make it 32. So we have 32x plus 8x squared. How do we, factorize this expression? So we have 32 and out of 8. The highest common factor of 32 and 8. 8 can go into 32. 8 can divide 32. How many times? And that's going to be 4 times, right? So we can take 8 as our highest common factor for 32 and 8. Now let's come to the letters. X squared. It's just going to be x. We just saw that one in our last example. So the highest common factor of these two expressions is going to be 8x. Bring our bracket. 8 goes into 32 4 times, like I just said. And then x goes into x1. So you just write 4. The sign should be here. The plus sign. It goes into 8 one time. X goes into x. X. So you have 1x, which is actually the same as x. You can decide not to bring this one. Okay. So that's the final answer. Let's take more examples. We have 7m minus 7m exponent 4 plus 14m exponent 3. I mean, how do we factorize this one? We have 3 times here. I mean, we're going to use the same approach. So let me consider the numbers first. 7, 7, 14. You know, the highest common factor for 7 and 14 is going to be 7. That is obvious. Let's come to the letters. You have M, M, M. But this one has an exponent of 4, and this one too has an exponent of 3. So what do we do? Like I said, we take the one with the least exponent. So that's going to be this. So we have 7m. So that will be our common factor. So 7m goes into 7m, just going to be 1. Straightforward. This sign, that is minus, should be here. 7 goes into 7, 1. There's no need for me to write that, you know. And then m goes into m exponent 4. That is going to be m exponent 3. Do you know why? Yeah. So use the laws of indices, right? So this sign that is plus should be here. And 7 goes into 14 two times. And then m goes into m cubed. That is going to be m squared. So that is our expression. You can verify to see whether you're correct or wrong. I mean, just try to expand this one. You just have to get the same expression. If you don't get it, it means you're wrong. Okay. So let's see some more examples here. We have this 1/4 p squared plus 1/8 px. You know, how do we simplify this expression? This time, the coefficients for the numbers in front are fractions. So how do we do it? The same thing. So we have 1/4, 1/8. What will be the highest common factor? And that's going to be 1/4. Yeah, 1/4, yeah. And then we come to the letters or the variable part. We have p. The highest common factor is going to be p. Since they have the same exponent, this one has an exponent of 1. This one too has an exponent of 1. So we just take one of them. Just straightforward. We come to x squared, and out of x, we take the one with the least exponent. So that's going to be x, right? So we are done with the highest common factor. We just bring our bracket. So 1/4 goes into 1/4, 1. You don't have to write 1 again, right? You know, you come to p, the same p, and then x goes into x squared. That's going to be x. Easy, right? The sign should be here, plus. Now, 1/4 goes into 1/8 how many times? That's going to be 1/8 divided by 1/4. You get it? I mean, 1/4 going into 1/8 is the same as 1/8 divided by 1/4. Let's simplify this guy. So we're going to get 1/8 times. You just have to change the sign to the multiplication, and we reciprocate the next fraction. So that's going to be 4/1. So we get 4/8. We just multiply. 4 times 1 is going to be 4. 8 times 1 is going to be 8. So 4 goes into itself 1 time. It goes here 2 times. So you're going to get 1/2. So that means 1/4 goes into 1/8. I mean, 1/2. Easy, right? And then we come to the variable part. PP is going to be the same thing. So we don't write anything. SS is going to be the same thing. So we don't write anything. So that's going to be the final answer. 1/4 px into bracket x plus 1/2. Let's see some, more examples here. We have 3x minus 21 plus 6x. So we have 3 times here. How do we factorize? Feel free to pause the video, factorize it before we do it. Okay, so let's move on. We have 3x, 21 minus 21, 6x. So what is going to be the highest common factor for the numbers? 3, 21, 6. Obviously, it's going to be 3, right? Let's come to the letters. We have an x here. We don't have any x here, so x cannot be a common factor. So we just have only 3, and that's going to be the highest common factor for these 3 times. Okay, so 3 goes into 3s how many times? X. And 3 goes into negative 21. 7. 3 times 7 is going to be 21. Don't forget to bring the sign, that is minus. The sign plus should be here. 3 goes into 6 2 times, and then we attach the x. So we are done, right? Very, very easy.